small scale here. Easy to... What I'm doing here is the old English method of blocking and blending. So I block in the colours first, and then blend them in. And pastel works by the reflection of light on the little particles. Okay. So when I block it like this, it's killing it. It's dead. But when I put fresh coats on and leave them alone and don't touch them, they become very bright. But this is so I can remove all of the paper. The paper colour never remains the same. It'll fade after a while. So unless I actually paint the paper, which I do in some cases, it's going to fade. So I'm putting in all my base colours now. So now I'm starting to blend in. I've blocked and I'm going to blend in now the other colours. You see how bright that is now?
Yes.
Yeah. But if I blend it, look, it goes dead.
Yes.
So I'm going to blend it first and then just gradually and subtly drag the pastel over to start to get this effect of light. Little bits of cloud that are coming up here.
Okay, that's how that is.
And then it's slightly yellower in the background, so a little drag over of very, very light colours. Just gradually blending, and this is now broken colour. Now broken colour is an impressionist technique. See how bright that makes that?
Yes.
When you put red dots next to yellow dots, the eye is fooled into thinking it's orange, instead of mixing the colour.
Oh, okay.
So that's how the impressionists worked, and they would just put these colours one to another, and you get this lovely light effect, you see. Now I'm coming down to those various blues in the distance, so I'm going to put that grey back in there, underneath that, and now you see how it goes against that pink. It's a solid colour, but it's just going to blend in slightly right in the background there. Now as that comes down, I want that to be slightly pinker, so I'm going to take quite a bright pink, actually too bright at first, and just blend that in. Oops, the wind got my paper, that didn't help. Just subtly blend that in there to give a little bit more warmth in between the mountains. Let's get rid of that bit. Very subtle colours. There's these slightly warmer pinks coming in. That gives us my distant hill. A little bit of mauve into that, just to darken it slightly at that lower edge. Just these little bits of subtle colouring can make all the difference. One colour can make such a difference to another colour. Now if I'm wanting to make something a lot warmer, I don't plonk more and more orange or red on. What I might do is the opposite, is put in more cool.
Oh yes.
So the opposite will make the cooler look cooler.
Out the...
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the next mountain layer becomes slightly warmer. So now if I put some cooler colour in there, look how warm that hill now looks next to it, you see. Right, and then I get the idea of a landscape, like a recipe, is that you go warm to cool. So in a normal day we go warm greens, cooler, cooler, cooler. In every single colour in the palette there is a warm and a cool version. So really red is a warm, or orange is a warm, whereas a mauve or a rose would be a cooler. In yellow, lemon yellow is cooler, whereas cadmium, which is much orangey yellow, and so on. So here we've got the cooler blues in the background being affected a little bit by the warms. And as I come forward I'm going to make these colours stronger. So what I'm going to do now is go to a warm grey, this one, a green grey, and cover the whole of this lot. That shape comes in there, down there, in and down here. Block that all in, use the dust up. With pastel dust, if I were working in a studio, if I were to save all this dust and mix it with water when I had enough, I could make another pastel. It would just turn into a nice grey. All it is pigment bound together with a little bit of sort of gum arabic. And so the gum arabic is in there. All it needs is water to activate it, and it will stick. Which is watercolour is the same, but watercolour has finer pigment. Now if I just start to do this, just towards the tops of the surface, it'll start to give me the effect of the tops of the trees, you see? So very easy techniques, but so that's bringing the lights into the darks. Now I go into reverse and come back, and if I do the other way around, I can bring the darks into the lights. Right, now I've got to go to deeper blues.
If you mix some elements in with that and you do that, you might get different painting.
Yeah. When I did the Chapel of Carmerans in France, the plasterwork was a certain pink, and I was almost certain that they'd used the ochres from the local mountains. So I went and bought some white plaster and mixed the ochre from the mountain, and it gave me the exact pink of the original medieval plaster.
Okay.
So I was able then to match the colour of the old chapel. Still on.
That
You've got an audience now.
It says time up, Peter.
I should need another half an hour. And these colours won't really work until I get these stronger colours in the foreground, because these stronger warms and darks will push those back.
Yes.
It's like having white paper,
Okay.
and you've got to cover that white paper to see the colour. Oh, the white looks too bright.
Right.
And just touch the tops of the trees like that. There's some different greens amongst them. That was a warm green, a yellowy green. Now I need some slightly cooler greens going on, which almost takes us into the ceruleans here. So let's take some of this stuff, which is much, much cooler, and just touch that very bluey green down into here. Which makes that other warm seem warmer again, and then you start to see colours elsewhere as well, so some of that going on over here. A lot warmer. So if I take some really dark green and start to come in there, you see how much darker that is then? And this is going to push that back. So I start just to make marks about those leaves, not copying every exact leaf. I'm just making an impression of those leaves, putting the right colours, as I say, in almost the right places and the right shapes.
Do you sell your paintings?
Oh yes,
Yes, he does.
when I get a chance.
His
I have a whole website with them on.
Yeah, he's from Great Britain, and he's lived. You're back there for 2 years since
France. I was in France 8 years, and I'm back there 2.5 years now. Yes.
Beautiful place in France, where he held classes and things as well. But just his photography and the paintings he's done are just unbelievable. But yes, he's got it.
I've known Jack for how many years now?
What was it, 12 years?
Yeah, because I'm only 20 years old, so it can't be that
14
long.
Yes.
You remember little Hannah?
Yes.
See, I took a picture over your shoulder and told her what you were doing. She wants to be here right now. She wants lessons from you.
Well, if you bring her with you to England, she can have them, or invite me over there to you, and I'll do them there. There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'll tell her it's an open invitation. She can get away easier than I can, so don't be surprised.
Yeah.
What is your website?
peterwoodarts.com.
PeterWoodArts.com.
Art or art?
Arts, A-R-T-S. No, not Peter Wood.
Yeah. Do you have? Where are your business cards?
I've got them in my pocket, but if you want to grope my pocket...
I'll let Jack do
Yeah,
that.
yes, Peter. I'll take care of that one.
so it's got a wash of raw sienna on first.
So are you local or not?
Yeah, I'm in Hendersonville.
Oh, you're in Hendersonville. Okay, you're
Yeah.
in Asheville then, right?
In Asheville, yeah, I'm showing at Atelier Gallery in Asheville, and I show in South Carolina, and I show up in Columbus, Ohio, too.
Oh, really? We're from Columbus.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Really? What part of Columbus?
Well,
Like southern Delaware, northern.
yeah, like Powell, Lewiston
Powell,
area.
Lewiston, yeah, okay. We're originally from Buffalo, New York, and then 14 years ago we moved down to Columbus, and we're there now. Just past September, we just moved to North Carolina.
Okay.
So, yeah, here, you take a look at my stuff online.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, thanks. Harry Wozniak.
Yep.
It's like the tennis player Wozniak. You know that girl?
Mm-hmm.
It's a girl tennis player. Yeah. She's from, I think, Denmark, maybe?
You'd be surprised what you can do, really, step by step with a good teacher and help. And it's
So what is your name?
right. If you haven't got a pen on you, have you? Because I've only got one card left, so I can't.
You know
give
what?
a
I've got
card.
some of your cards in my
Have
wallet.
you? Oh, right. By all means, have a look at my site later as well. When you've seen his, I mean, when you've seen proper art, have a look at mine. Never.
All right.
Now, what I'm doing now is dropping this colour wet into wet, and then if I'm tilting the board slightly, you see it's coming downwards, so we get the sort of slightly rainy effect.
Yeah, I
It's
see
quite
that,
fun.
yeah.
And then gradually using different blues to make the greys. If I use blue and brown, it gives me a grey. And if I take that slightly lighter blue as I go along, and let it trickle down this way, I can put a second coat on later. Say I wanted rain coming right across here, I could put, when this is dry, another coat on, tilt it either way to get the rain going either way.
Are you like self-taught or do you
No,
go to
no,
art school?
I did an honours degree in London and teaching certificate, taught for 28 years, and then had problems with my spine and things, so I was able to get out of all of that, unlike Harry, who's just made that move, haven't you, Harry?
Mm-hmm.
Very bravely given up. I'm going to go a bit dark. Now, watercolour always dries one tone lighter than when you put it on. So that might seem a bit dark now, but actually when we get it done, it's
It'll
going to
lighten
reflect that in it. It will reflect this day as well. So, right. Now that bit of blue there I did. I'll come back across tops of those mountains now. And just let that have a broken line. Now,
So what you're painting right there, when it's all done, how much would you sell that for?
well, in American money, it seems to be very different to where I am. Over where I am, I'd get about £80, something like that for it. Not an awful lot. Over here, we get several hundred apparently. So he's on a better deal than I am. Watercolours, you're working the opposite. You're working with your lights to your darks. One spot of rain can, it's
Mess it up.
annoying. Yeah, it's not so good
Blotch
today.
it up?
Now let's have that darker colour. Come on, dry off. Bloody masking fluid. If I get that in my brush, it messes the brushes up immensely. My hand there. Better.
Are you doing watercolor?
Yep. Trying in this weather. It's a bit dull, but it was
No.
nice. What's that new fancy brush? Oh, there it is. And that'll do. Right, now we've got to get in these, having got the masking fluid out, we've got to get in these very light bits of lichen, or lichen, however you call them. Not an easy colour to make. What am I going to go for? I think very light cerulean blue at first. I can't see what else I'm going to use on that. Maybe lemon, maybe a bit of aureolin yellow and cerulean blue very, very thinly. So we'll tint those whites out straight away with the aureolin yellow.